Rolling through the Midwest, got the hops in line. Rod J and dig deep, pouring knowledge in the ride from the brewery to the bar. We bring the heat, crafting perfect brews to our cities on the beat. Spinning all the news, we keep it fresh and raw. Liquid golden hands, raise your glass for the law. Popping up, sharing wisdom with the kings of the tape. With every sip we take, there's no time to waste.
Midwest vibes, we stay legit. For another round, let's never quit. Midwest vibes, we stay legit. For another round, let's never quit.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? We are back for another Midwest Beer Show here on this Saturday night of March 28th. About to start April already.
I know.
Yeah. What happened at the beginning of the year? We're actually flying through pretty quickly. So seemed like the end of last year was dragging out, but now we're like on the move. So it's kind of interesting.
That's it. We're springtime.
We're really springing forward. So welcome, everybody. And so if you're new to the channel, every couple weeks we actually do the Midwest Beer Show with myself and Dave from Beer in Front, kind of bring you up to speed on some of the beer news out of the Midwest, as well as other topics that we catch that might be happening from outside the Midwest. So we just want to make sure we give the Midwest love, since we're both located in that area as well. And we crack open a few beers. We'll talk about those, but usually just a nice time to kick back, crack yourself something open, and just comment with us and let us know what you're enjoying or what you're seeing or what you want to discuss as well. I think I covered it all there. We got Justin J in the house. Cheers.
Hey.
What is up? He has got an ice beer.
All right, my man.
Haven't had an ice beer in a while, so I don't know when the last time is you've had one of those, but I've definitely went through those at a time. the extra ABV because of the freezing of the alcohol. So I think he might be looking to get his buzz on tonight, which is good, which is fine, which we definitely welcome as well. But so great to have you back in, my friend. And I guess we'll get started taking a look at some of the beer news and things taking place. I'm going to actually pull up the one here that you actually were able to get a hold of, and what's new about taking place is just I didn't really do a video about it as of yet, but I think I may have mentioned on some things before, but kind of interesting with the whole BrewDog taking place. Yeah. So BrewDog now being acquired by Tilray Brands, which is interesting in itself. And what was your take on what you're finding on the details here that kind of caught your eye?
It's like, we mentioned a couple weeks ago, it's, when Tilray's knocking, you're not getting full price. You're getting Temu prices for your stuff, but they're going to, from what I was reading, they're going to pick up some of the pubs, not all of them. So we'll see. It says, I don't. Like, have you ever been to the one in Columbus? They got a pub and hotel.
Yeah, I've never been to the one in Columbus. I've had some friends that have stayed at the hotel, which they said was actually a really good experience. They really enjoyed it. We had one in Cincinnati. That one actually shut down for the little tap house. And the one in Cleveland, I believe, had shut down. And the one in Indianapolis, I think it did at a point as well. Not sure about the one out in Pittsburgh. So, yeah, by the time I felt like I was going to go over there, because we know BrewDog also had some other issues that took place, not just overseas, but here in the States. It was kind of like, do I want to put dollars into that brewery or not? But by the time I tried to go over, they were closed. So it didn't happen. So had a few of them off the shelf in the store, grab some 6-packs or some singles at times. I've had the, I think it's the Black Heart Nitro they did, and the Elvis Juice. I've had that one. And I think one of the other ones. Never really overly impressed what they actually put out. But
no, they were okay. I mean, it wasn't. We could find better stuff at the grocery store here.
Yeah. I think they lost their luster over the years. Once the dollar started flowing in, they kind of got away from that punk attitude, right? The money started to soften them a little bit from what they were kind of doing. I think the last crazy thing might have been, what was the beer with the muskrat or whatever it was? They put the bottle in that little vermin's mouth. I can't remember what animal it was, but it was like, really? Do you need a beer like that? But
yeah, no. And one thing about punks, if you're a true punk, you don't call yourself a punk. You know you're a punk. So just slapping this title upon yourself, no, just go away.
Yeah.
You're no punk.
If you got to say it out loud, then it's not
then
you.
you're not it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on that. Tilray has been scooping up different breweries over the last, year or two, three, maybe?
Years.
Yeah, and they are actually a hemp THC type company out of Canada, which we'll talk some stuff about that. But I thought at one point they'd have more THC stuff happening than they actually have. But
well, you don't know. Like, who knows what's going on in November with the laws and everything else? So maybe they're just trying to hedge their bets. And I'm assuming they're bigger in cannabis in Canada. Here, it seems like they're doing more of the beer thing. So
right.
We'll just have to wait and see how everything shakes out and by November.
Yeah, I mean, when they first started buying the American breweries being based in Canada, and they had some in Canada, I thought they were going to try to open up some in Canada, but they've got, was it Sweetwater I think purchased here in the States? And I was thinking, well, they had the 420 line where they were kind of doing the fake hemp type feel. Yeah. So I figured maybe that would have been one of the first ones. But yeah, we had some of the breweries that finally did get that legislation, which is now getting knocked down. So we'll touch on that here in a bit. It hits us a little bit more here in Ohio earlier than what is hitting the rest of the country, which I think is September. But yeah, kind of crazy what's taking place there. Let's see here. And Justin is having a Molson Ice. Now, I've had Molson Ice before.
There you go.
Get the 24 ounce.
I don't know if I've ever had the Molson Ice. I know Ice House was really big here, and Bud Ice for a while. What was they had the ice beers, and I remember the dry beers that came out. It was around the same time, like Michelob Dry, and they had a couple other dry beers.
Well, you got to remember the old school Natty Ice, because that was balling on a budget where you needed to get a buzz and you didn't have that much money in your pocket. So,
oh God, a friend of mine actually sent me a text. I don't know what she was doing. I was waiting in the doctor's office, and she sends me a picture. She's like, "Have you ever seen this beer?" I'm like, "Just run. Do not pick this up." I'm like, "Where?" I'll find her text later when we're on a break. But I'm like, Jesus Christ, do not buy that beer. This was Natty Daddy. 8%.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. I'm like, Angela, whatever you do not. If you need a couple dollars, I'll Venmo you. You get something good.
And the Natty Daddy, I believe, is in a 24 ounce size as well. So I guess what some people call bum juice nowadays, right? So And I had some times like that. I kicked around Natty Daddy once in a while, but you just knew if you were getting into Natty Daddy, it's going to be one of those crazy type nights anyway. So that was like the quick fix. Oh, we're going out. Let me get a couple things in to get a quick buzz. Okay, that'll work. So you grab it. And then speaking of the beer itself, just so people can see, the beer I am actually enjoying right now is one from Firestone Walker. It is the Double Jack, as you can see there on the screen. Shout out to Firestone Walker, who's almost becoming a sponsor of the channel, so to speak, with all the different stuff happening with them. Lots of reviews still coming from some of their beers, but I'm starting out with the Double Jack. Great stuff they're doing out of California, and then 9 other states in the country that get them. But if you're lucky enough to try some Firestone Walker, would definitely say give them a shout, because they are definitely delivering.
They just sent me some stuff today, and it's not fully chilled yet, so I don't have that out. But right now I'm having from Prairie Artisan Ales. This is one of my favorites, Rainbow Sherbet, sour ale with rainbow sherbet flavors. It does taste like the old school rainbow sherbet. I don't know if this technically qualifies for Midwest. You went to California, so we blew that out of the water. But I believe Oklahoma, and I don't know if I'd call Oklahoma the Midwest, but Prairie Artisan Ales puts out some solid stuff.
Yeah, I think Prairie, I think they're Southwest, but, we're out of the gate. Like I said, we focus Midwest, but we do get outside the territory as well. And I've had that one from Prairie, very solid, very enjoyable as well. It's funny, like, all through life, like for a number of years, everybody like growing up in the Northeast would call it sherbet.
Yeah.
And then as I got out there, it's like, wait a minute, sherbet. Like there's no R in there. Why is everybody saying sherbet? It's one of those misnomers that people have. That's hilarious. Let's see here. Keep it in the freezer 5 more minutes, then I'll open. Gaga, there you go. You put it in the freezer and you put a wet towel around it. It actually works to even make it even freeze a little bit faster too. So that's a trick we learned back in college. You know, if you were getting some beer from the store, wasn't cold enough, throw a wet towel around and stick it in the freezer. You can do it with wine and a few other things. And yeah, it'll be nice and cool for you real quick.
Have you ever seen those devices? Like you put it on a drill and it clamps onto the beer and it spins. So you put this into like a bucket of ice water, and as you're spinning, the forces cool the beer. It's like you go from room temperature to drinkable cold beer in like 2 minutes.
I have not seen that one. That's not a bad device to have around though, in case, you know.
Yeah. Although I don't know, you're drinking a lot of beers, power tools. It might not be the smartest thing you've done.
Well, it's kind of funny. We both were reached out to by Soluble Solutions, and I was asked if I had one of them, like I forgot what it's actually called for the term, but I'll have a video upcoming with it. I'll actually have them on here in the next couple of weeks. But he asked if I had the piece. And I was like, "What?" You know, so he sent it to me, and I got in the mail from Amazon. I didn't know what was coming in the mail, and it's like this little drip type thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, so you take this and basically you stick it in. It's kind of like when you see them like on Bar Rescue to siphon off the drink to make sure it's all right. So I guess you put it in there, you put your finger over it, sucks in the liquid, you take the drops, you put them into your drink and adds to it. So yeah, stay tuned for that device. Like I've been around a lot of beer stuff. I've been in a lot of the beer breweries. I've been in their little science areas, and I've not seen this before. So learning something all the time about beer.
The more you know.
The more you know, right? So looking forward to checking that out. But he did say, yeah, like you did with Guinness. He's like, yeah, you can actually add it right into a regular beer and instantly get an oak appeal. So we're going to be doing an experiment upcoming soon. So make sure everybody tunes in for that. And yes, 2 live streams, actually 3 when you think about it, because you're live on my channel, you're live on Dave's channel, and on my channel, you're live twice because we do have the vertical for the people that are mobile. So yeah, we try to make sure we meet people where they are. They can tune in how they want to tune in. I was planning to have this on Facebook Live tonight as well, but I ran into an issue with them. Facebook is becoming such a pain with the whole meta type stuff. I don't know, maybe because Zuckerberg's getting sued left and right, but it's definitely not working out as much. So. What's up, JB? Cheers, my friend. Happy Saturday to you as well. Let me see. 5'6", Molson Ice, easy work. Yeah, definitely stronger than the regular. Compare the cannabis high and beer high. You're going to compare both of those. The beer high is definitely different than the cannabis high. I tell you, because THC drinks definitely have a different feel than the beer drinks do. I'll leave it at that. Cannabis better, but I can't go wrong with having a few. Worked at dispensary as well. Oh, very nice. So you're getting all kinds of worlds. That's awesome. Yeah. And cheers. Okay, he's opening it now. And happy Saturday. What's up, Ryan?
Ryan?
My friend. Good to see you. Since he Brew Dad's in the house, another great channel to check out. I wouldn't have a habit on the weekend. I would always have a few good beers, and I would do a huge bong rip of cannabis. I was like, I'm in space. That was a smart choice. Yeah, you got to be careful when you mix them up for sure. Oh, you're over in PA. Okay, so you're not even up in Canada. Okay, cool. Nice. PA's got some good stuff happening there. I was supposed to be in PA next month for the Brewers Conference, but unfortunately will not be there. Oh. But it'll be nice. A nice setup, I'm sure, because I think Bad Robot's doing something. I don't know if Other Half is doing something there as well, but they've got some pretty good things lined up. So unfortunately, won't be able to make that one. But anybody that can get down to Philly, that's definitely something to go to. It's definitely well worth it. One of the other beer news pieces I wanted to get into, which is actually something a little more dated from January of last year, but for some reason, it's making the rounds again. And somebody had put out on one of the Facebook things thoughts on the article. I pretty much just called it a BS piece when I saw it. So I don't know if you've seen this floating around, but it is talking about, let's get that off the screen, why craft beer just isn't as popular as it used to be. And I'm like, who writes these pieces? I mean, who are these? And to steal a phrase from Dave Jagoffs that are putting this together. Like, who said it's not as popular as it used to be? Now, people have changed drinking habits, and there's been what I would say is more of a maturation of the craft beer market, which is traditional for any business to go through a cycle where you have pullback. But people are still going, unless I'm missing something. I know here in Cincinnati, they're still going to craft breweries. They're still popular to a lot of folks. You may not be going as much depending on how you're getting squeezed with the economy right now. I know where you're at in Chicago, you're seeing action there too. So
yeah, I mean, places are closing. The sky is definitely not falling. It might not be as popular, but craft beer is strong, providing billions of dollars to every state's economy. People just need to get over it. It's a little maturation of the market. Things are leveling out. People that got into it to make a quick buck are realizing you can't make a quick buck. So the people that are staying are in it for a long haul, and these are the people that are doing it right.
Right. And any business cycle will have an area where it'll become a contraction at a certain point. That's just how business cycles run. And so I just see pieces like this popping back up again, and it's just like, what are you talking about? Like, there's still a lot of action taking place at a lot of the different breweries. We just had the Ohio Brewers Conference earlier this week with a lot of the breweries taking place here up in Dayton, Ohio. We do see some breweries that'll close, and we'll talk about maybe one or two of those later, but also there's some breweries opening, which we'll also talk about. Yeah. So you're having turnover take place, and it's just one of those pieces I saw that it was just like, do you even follow the beer scene, or are you just trying to get clicks in? Yeah, because it's definitely happening now. I wouldn't even say it was popularity. I would just say it's more maybe affordability issue, or maybe affordabilities are coming into play, and also it could be the health aspect. So some people are looking to get their bodies better. I mean, usually around this time anyway, you have people trimming back down, starting to try to get to their summer body when the summer and the weather breaks and stuff.
I'm already in my summer body. Fuck that. I'm good. I'm ready for the Italian Speedo. I'm
bringing the Speedo team. But it's just like, I don't know. I feel like people throw this stuff out there and just wonder where they get it from at times.
And I was actually thinking this week that, I'll run it by you after we go off air. I think there's a longer form piece we could do just about the changing and drinking habits, the effect of COVID. I mean, people forget. I mean, it was 6 years ago, but that changed the way a lot of people, myself included, go out and have a good time. So I think there's a lot of layers to this, and I'd like to delve into it a little further, a little more in depth, but that's something I want to run by you once we go off air here.
Yeah, definitely. We can talk post-show after that, because there are some different things where we might be thinking of maybe switching some up stuff so we have some more full episode focus type stuff happening, right? And that could be a great opportunity. So, we'll definitely get into that. Make sure we remember we don't, because we drink beer sometimes start to forget stuff. So just make sure we make a note. That
Ryan, you're in charge. Remind us, buddy.
Somebody write that down, right? A few hours from Philly East. Oh, nice. I actually grew up in Jersey, across from Philly, 20 miles across the Delaware. So definitely familiar with that area as well. And the beers. And you got some good beer reviewers out there too in Pennsylvania. Right? Who are the idiots that are right? It's just, I think they're just trying to get people to find something. It's almost like anything nowadays has to be negative to try to draw attention to it. So I feel like it's just one of those pieces out there, and it's just like, oh, the bubble this and the bubble like it's not about the bubble. It's just like literally you're like down maybe a couple percentage points from where you were previously the year before. That's not like a bubble type thing. It's like this. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you look at where we were 10 years ago, we're still like more than double the breweries we had 10 years ago. So the sky's not falling. No one in a major market has to go very far at all to get a phenomenal beer. So I'm tired of hearing this shit. Beer's in a good place.
Yeah, and I mentioned the affordability because I know in some places some costs have got a little crazy where it's like $9 or $10 for a pint or whatever. So that can affect it. If somebody says, oh, 9 or 10 for craft beer, or I can get the $3 special on Coors Light or the regular Coors or Bud or whatever it may be, they're going to probably go with that if that's tight on the belt, right? So yeah, that doesn't mean they don't like craft beer anymore. It's just they can't afford to get it right now.
Yeah.
And we've seen that before when it happened, and people were like, I want to get that 6-pack, but I get a 12-pack here to be, more dollar-wise works out better. So
yeah. Maybe somebody's not eating filet, but they're buying ground beef. It doesn't mean that they're not, eating beef. They're just, things are changing. So you might have to tighten and get ground beef.
Yeah, different cut. Get
a hanger steak. Yeah.
Right. There you go. Or flank. Yeah. A lot of Mexican restaurants use flank steak, and they do just fine with it. Don't like light beer. Coors Light, Bud Light. I barely feel a buzz. I would rather have craft beer or a lager or ice beer than light beer. Yeah, I mean, obviously light beer, you're usually down in the lower ABV. So if you were drinking to get a buzz, it was going to take you more of the light to actually kind of do that. But for more of the health conscious folks, they want that taste of beer, but they don't want to have the calories. Like Dave, when he tested Big Ultra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn, is that bad?
but he did it for science. So cheers, Vanessa. Great to see you, my friend. A few good chugs on ice beer or craft beer. I'm like, ooh, I'm ready to go. Chug light beer, I feel nothing. Yeah. Well, that's like when people would order Coors Light. We just like, why don't you just ask the waiter for water then? Yeah. You don't need a Coors Light. Just get water. That's free. The view is difficult for me to see and read the text. Well, good thing we're reading it for you there, Vanessa, as well. So we'll definitely get you covered on that. Communicable change, disease do indeed change. Yeah, in human population. Yeah. Northeast of Philly in Connecticut, but it's not like you're hop, skipping a jump either, Vanessa. Like it's only just jump on the turnpike and end up in Connecticut. I mean, you could, but it's a little longer than what you would expect. Just reverse it on them. Yeah. Changing drinking habits since COVID. Okay, there. I wrote it down. Yeah.
Ryan, we got you.
Ryan's the man. Yeah. Ryan, we got to catch up again at one of the breweries and stuff too, by the way. Keep Everclear on hand to spike those light beers. Whoa, Vanessa's trying to get someone lit tonight.
Damn.
Which I must say, it's been kind of interesting for those of you on TikTok. I don't know if this is popping up on your feed as much as it is mine. 2 alcohols that the youngsters seem to be testing lately.
Oh, they're drinking those Borgs or whatever those are. They're filling that shit with Everclear.
Well, yeah, they're doing the Everclear. Like, they're doing shots of Everclear. Like, we did Everclear. Rarely did we ever do a shot of it. We put it in something. We weren't going to go straight shots for it. And then they're wondering why it's burning their chest. And then seeing them now getting into some more of the Malort type stuff. And this was like, who is picking out these alcohols for you young folk? I don't know. Yeah. And then I'm starting to see also, what's the other one?
Rumplemint?
That's popping up now in popularity. I'm like, why are you guys digging in the bottom of the trash can on this stuff? I don't know what's happening right now.
Where are the unks in the world to like teach these people? These people need to listen to your elders. Like, we did this shit 30 years ago. Learn from our mistakes. Don't.
Of course, it could be some of the unks pranking them too. So, and Mad Dog's popping up more. They're doing Mad Dog lately. So and I don't even like putting it in the cup. They're just like chugging it from the bottle that I've seen some of the videos. And I'm like, you guys are just waiting for the next morning to slap you upside the face. So yeah, it's interesting. It's official. Congratulations. Own the home Monday at noon. 45 years of running around the country closed. Very nice. Congratulations.
Very nice. Congrats
to you there, Vanessa. Going to get in the house and see if we can give you the little sound effect. Oh no, my thing doesn't want to work here right now, but I was going to try to do it. Maybe I'll come back to it there. Liberty Bell, 224 miles southeast. Oh, that's a Sunday drive. There you go. I can't understand people willing to seek out Malort. Well, James in Chicago, maybe he had some thoughts on it.
Ryan, you see that?
The real the Malort and the little bottle. Like, you just keep that on hand.
You never know. You never know.
You
You never know when it's going to come in handy.
You never know when you need the Chicago handshake, huh?
Yeah.
Welcome
That's
to Chicago.
Yeah.
Let me get you some Malort.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Yeah, and it's weeding out the weak. That's it. We're the riffraff.
Headed up the narrow path on 411 and Third Eye Hamilton on 425. Oh, yeah, for their Pretzel Day event. Feel free to meet up. Yeah, I'll have to remember that. If I don't remember to write that down here, hit me up with the email as well, Ryan, or so. I will tell you, the Third Eye, I finally had a couple of their beers, and the one beer I had was their pretzel beer. Oh, my God. It was just like drinking a pretzel. I mean, it was fantastic. It hit the mark for everything it needed to do. So I wonder if they're coming out with a new batch for that. But if you haven't had their pretzel beer from Third Eye, definitely highly recommend. And the video should be up soon. I don't think I put the video up yet, but it is coming. Take a train from here, train station, rebuilt 2 miles east of town where it should have stayed. Yeah, you can take a train. That's the thing. In the Northeast, people will take trains to different locations.
Oh, yeah.
So very, very common for that to actually be the case. Let's see here. On this next topic, we don't usually do politics on the channel or like that and everything, but it was kind of one of those things where it is part of the beer news.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's a glass from the brewery we're going to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Drink beer and don't be racist.
Yeah. So it was kind of an interesting thing. So let me get it pulled up here. I got to pull it up so I guess their name, because their name's always a little bit tricky.
Minocqua.
Up in Minnesota. Yeah, Minocqua.
Yeah.
And it's not like something that was directly related to the president, I guess you can say, but they're offering free beer. Now they're just coming out saying Donald Trump dies, not backing down off it. So here's the thing. There was a little backstory to it where I guess they came out with the thing talking about a beer. When a certain person dies, we're going to get free beer the day at the brewery. Minocqua is actually up in Minnesota, but they didn't really say.
Wisconsin brewery.
Oh, Wisconsin. Sorry, Wisconsin. Yeah, Wisconsin. It's like the same place, right? Minnesota, Wisconsin should be in Canada, both states now.
Yeah.
But after Donald Trump's thing about saying about he was glad that Mueller had died or whatever, they kind of said, okay, well, we'll say the name then. And it's kind of a weird type thing because you wonder some of the, if you're a brewery, do you want to steer into that political type lane? Because
they're
the thing
so far
now, I will
deep
say
into
this
that
brewery
lane.
itself is considered to be one of the more, it's
They're
like one of the
so
more
deep
progressive
in
type
that
breweries
lane.
from everything I know about it, right?
Yeah, they're so deep in that lane, and that's fine. That's who they are. They don't back down from it. They're not.
Yeah.
And they're in a red state, a red area. The politicians trying to get them shut down and breaking the law, like they have a right to voice their opinion. That is a right that we have as Americans. And, you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, don't buy their beer. It's all there is to it.
Yeah. Now, I understand in the post, they're not doing anything in here where they're wishing harm to the president along those lines, but they're saying, hey, when he dies, like, if you bring us the post of the social media, you get a free beer that day or whatever, and they're going to be doing a free beer day. Apparently, this started back in January 22nd when they did the first time on Facebook, kind of saying something out there. But just kind of an interesting thing. It's just the things that we're seeing nowadays and, just some of the twists that take place, some of these things that are out there. And like I said, it is a news item, so we don't shy away from news if it has a political tinge to it. I mean, in fact, if you talk to us on various other type of things, we can definitely give you some different feedback along those lines, I'm sure. But it's just interesting just because it is out there. Now, there was a brewery in Virginia, I forgot the name of it now offhand, but they were putting serial killers on their beer can.
Yeah.
Again, it's just the creativity that breweries can kind of have, and people saw that kind of go weird. But no, I just like, any thoughts you have on it? It was kind of just a weird type thing, I thought at first, but I'm like, yeah, they do have the right to kind of go out there and do that, and just kind of interesting type thing.
You know, it's definitely true to their brand, and a lot of people will probably make the drive up to get that beer. You know,
Yeah.
I have a beer glass from them. I have a coffee cup from them. You know, it's hard to tell here with the reflections. Drink beer, don't be racist. That's, you know, that's who they are. So I commend them for sticking to their guns and not trying to be, you know, appease everybody. This is who we are. If you don't like it, don't drink it.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, it's just one of those things that's out there, and it's kind of interesting. I feel like in the world that we're in, a lot of things are getting mixed in now anyway. So it shouldn't really be a surprise that a brewery may do something like that.
Yeah.
But you know, it's where we're at. So I figured I'd just kind of share that out there too. Let me see here. Found 49 cubic feet commercial freezer. Oh, there you go.
Nice.
You might actually, can always have a freezer, and especially with you, Vanessa, because if you hunt or anything, to have, I don't know if you're still hunting now, but to have meat for it, I know you were doing hunting before. Get it twisted. Yeah, liquid soft press will also now be their imperial version. Oh, okay. I knew they were doing the imperial version of the Get It Twisted. I didn't know that was going to be released that day. So just may have to get up there to see you as well. Quality for all, not just some, certain few. Yeah, true, right? What do you do when those politics directly affect you and your right to live, et cetera? Well, you get them. I mean, if that's affecting your right to live, I would say you get involved. You know, you get out there. I mean, I know today, and I didn't go out there, but I know today was a big day for a lot of the political movement out there from around the country with the whole No King side thing. I didn't watch really any of that. I was actually watching some of the basketball earlier, but knew about it. And yeah, it's kind of crazy. I'm just hoping they get the gas prices back down here. And apparently, I don't know. I don't know if the TSA is going to get paid by Monday or not, but so I know some of the Senate left, and the House is trying to call people back so they can try to do some stuff. So hopefully, for those of you traveling, and for my buddy Dave here that works at the airport, hope he doesn't get too crazy, because I just feel like people lose their mind if it has to go on much longer.
It's a good thing I'm out with this elbow, so I'm missing all the spring break and TSA nonsense, so that's good. Yeah.
So, I mean, not that you want to be out because of that, but you're out at the right time, so to speak. So, but also going back into the beer world, we have, and you're familiar with this brewery, of course, too, Fatheads. And Steve Parks, they're teaming up. Stark Parks, rather, team up. They're going to try to do a project to help save the spotted turtles. Now, I don't know if the spotted turtles are more danger than the other turtles, or why it's just the spotted, but they are teaming up to try to get something put together. The brewery will have a special event to help prevent that. Maybe they're getting close to extinct or whatever, but 10% of food sold and $1 from each Hakuna Matata purchase will support the cause. So that's the beer, is a play on the scientific name of the spotted turtle. Now I was starting to think, was that from that song from the cartoon? But that was something else.
Hakuna
Matata. Yeah, but this is Hakuna Matata. So yeah, a little bit different.
But you know, like, I think this is really cool. Yeah. And even if you're, you know, not an environmentalist or whatever, but we've talked countless times about, you know, thinking outside the box as a brewery to try to get people into your place to drink your beer. This is something that is in the local newspaper. I mean, this is outside thinking. That's all right. You know what? Maybe I'm not a beer drinker, but I agree with this. Oh, look at this company doing something. Let me go buy some of their beers. And maybe I'll go in their tap room and grab dinner because I agree with saving the turtles. I think this is really smart.
Yeah, and that's like I said. That's why I think they did it on food, so it didn't have to be just a beer, but just doing it on food allows others to partake in it that might not want to, drink, so to speak. So the cool thing is always about supporting a lot of the craft breweries. They are usually community involved to a degree, and usually that money is staying within the community, which always makes it a great thing. So. Yeah. For those around the area there with Fatheads, that'll be an opportunity to go see them on site. I didn't see on there, the thing just kind of blocked out with the whole, you're past your 24 hours. Now you got to buy us if you want to see the article thing. So if they're going to do if they're doing the stuff in stores where they're going to be making money off of that, usually it's at the brewery, I think, on a lot of things. But this is still a good opportunity.
You could buy T-shirts and other things like that to, support the cause. So, I mean, it's cool. It's outside the box thinking.
Yeah. And that's what you need to do nowadays, too, to sustainability with the brewery and everything. Let's see here. And then up in Marquette, so they're actually, pull this up here, going to be hosting, which the article, the picture itself makes me laugh. The Festival of the Angry Bear, not the Angry Bear Festival, the Festival of the Angry Bear by Ordock Brewery, Upper Peninsula, returns April 11th for its 12th year. So
nice.
That should be pretty cool. I mean, again, up in that area, it is regional, but they're going to be coming back after taking off last year because there was some construction taking place on the opening of another new building that was close to where they were. But it plays host to the annual unveiling of Ordock's barrel-aged and limited release offerings with more than 30 taps on Lake Superior, which if you're out on the lake and the weather cooperates and it's a good day, I mean, where else would you want to be out there right in April going into May? You're going to have craft beer, cocktail-inspired hard seltzers, variety of non-alcoholic craft beverages, and this year, draft cocktails. Again, they're making the strides to bring other stuff to the table that you might not be seeing because that creates more of a destination for why you might want to try that brewery. Other breweries take notice because you got to do something, again, to try to drive some uniqueness into what you're doing.
Yeah, every brewery's got 5 IPAs on tap. Every brewery has tater tots and smash burgers. You got to try to do something different.
Right. So
I definitely kill a good smash burger and some tater tots, though.
Well, we're going to talk about a ball game special here shortly.
Yes,
see if you want to do that challenge, which I don't think the challenge is as big as I thought it was when I first saw that piece. But that being said, if you are up in that area in the Upper Peninsula, it's something to put on your calendar. The date of the event, April 11th, so just a few weeks out. And I didn't go to the beer festival here that we just had, so I got to get out to a festival at some point. So last one out was Oktoberfest, which we still got to get you down here for Oktoberfest.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward. We have our beer under glass. It's going to be the first week of May, so that'll be the first big one that I'll go to this year.
What we need to try and do is coordinate and go to Dark Lord Day, because that'd be like in the middle between both of us probably. Yeah. Because that'll be outcoming. Their tickets just went on sale. I put that on my Facebook page, but it's a good chance to start looking at that too. Let me see here. Leather goods available this fall. Coasters at 4.25-inch diameter paper coffee cup leather sleeves, can and bottle cookies, etc. Okay, Vanessa, you got a bunch of stuff.
Bottle koozies?
I think it's koozies. Not I would have took cookies though. I love cookies. Craft cocktails. Nice. So Vanessa, she's actually on Instagram. You can see a lot of stuff she posts there as well. Vanessa M. Kitty. So check her out. Found a 1.25 gallon times 2 keg-like things designed with Cornelius keg tops. Add beers or cocktails. Has CO2 line. Nice. Yes. Oops. Yeah. Koozies. Yeah. That's all right. If it was cookies, I would take the cookies too, because I know they'd be good, Vanessa. Yeah.
I don't know about leather cookies. It might be a little rough. Yeah.
Oh, and then over in Indiana, which I have not had a beer from this brewery in a while, But, we talk about some of the breweries that have to make some different shifts and some different closings. So sadly, Up was going to be closing one of their spots over on 82nd Street. That location, they will have the other one still open, but they do have to close that one down. And this is kind of getting into one of the things that we've seen on other stuff too. One of the driving reasons for this one was the negotiate a fair lease, right? So some of the breweries that we talked about before, there in Chicago, it was like a leasing type issue, right? Like the lease was up. Business could still come in, but the leasing to renew it made it so crazy. It's like we can't afford to pay that. So when you see some of these breweries close.
Yeah, they signed at the time like 10-year leases. This was, back when craft beer was booming and everybody was making money hand over fist, 10%, growth year after year. And, the lease comes up and it's a different world in 2026. So even though the brewery was probably a main reason that area picked up foot traffic, they just can't afford to keep up with the rent increases.
Right. And again, it's one of those things where it's not just the brewery or the beer being unpopular. It is the cost to be a brewery that affects why you see a brewery close, right? So going back to that article there, if you're seeing things happen, it's not because it's not popular. It's because I know Up was popular in Cincinnati. I mean, I'm sorry, Indiana. And then we do get some of their stuff in Cincinnati as well. But it's cost ineffective for them.
Yeah. Didn't Upland, weren't they the ones that did that, the Indiana University commemorative beer for the football champampionship? Wasn't that Upland?
Yeah, they have that one that they're doing. And one of the ones I really liked for them a few years ago, they brought it back. It was the Champagne Velvet.
Champagne Velvet, yeah, that was really good. Yeah,
that's a really good one that they actually have. So, yeah. And they still do make that one there too, but it was kind of like Upland is, kind of one of those. I feel like they're one of those ones that are there in the shadows. You don't pay as much attention to sometimes, but they make some quality stuff for sure.
Yeah, and Indy's a tough town. Every time I've been there. I was there like 10 years ago for the NCAA tournament for the Sweet 16. So this weekend, 10 or so years ago, like the downtown area is all business and it like shuts down. It's like you can't go get a drink after 10 o'clock. I was there once. My wife and I went down there to Lucas Oil, the football stadium, to see a concert. And it's like after the show, all right, you're just going to go. You want to have a couple drinks at Nightcap. And there was like one bar that was open in all of downtown. And it was like next to a hotel. It was like an Indianapolis Colts themed bar. And it's like, there's not a lot to do down here at night.
Yeah, no. When we went, I went to Indianapolis last year for the CBC. The Pacers were in the playoffs at the time, and so we were next to I don't think it's still the same Market Square Arena or whatever. I think it's a different name now.
Oh, the Field House or something.
Yeah. And around it had they did have a yard house, so that was actually open, and then it was like the little surfboard type place, Dick's Last Resort or whatever, which was kind of like, I don't want that. But yeah, you didn't see a lot of the other stuff that was kind of like the game comes out and like some of the stuff's closed. It's like, this is like premium walking past your places that have nowhere to go. And so we go back to the hotel bar. The hotel bar closes like 11 or so. Now, keep in mind, I'm at a beer conference. We don't have a lack of beer around. We're going to drink one way or another. But still, for people that weren't a part of it, it's kind of like, where do you go for your after nightlife? And a lot of people just back to the suburbs or back home or wherever they go, I guess. It's kind of interesting.
It's weird. Like a couple, because I went there twice for two different concerts, different locations. One Lucas Oil, one was at another spot. And it's like, all right, like here after a show, all right, let's go have a nightcap or whatever. And it's like, where do you go?
Yeah. Of course, here in Cincinnati, maybe it's a reason they don't do anything now, because apparently we had opening day, which was fine. But after the game, things got crazy at nighttime. So the police and the riot gear and all that kind of stuff hit the streets. I'm like, I don't know why it gets crazy the way it does, but maybe that's why some cities are like, just go back to the house. It'll be a lot easier. So
I saw today, and Illinois just won, so they advanced to.
Illinois won. They beat Iowa. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Illinois won, but yeah, so they won 71-59. So they're going to the Final Four for it's a long story. I could tell you a Final Four story about 2005, but it's too long. But like Bloomington and Illinois, they were shutting down beer sales, like I think at halftime, because they were afraid if Illinois advanced, there was going to be some shit happening down in Bloomington.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I was watching Illinois and Iowa earlier, and Iowa was controlling it a lot in the first half, but, Illinois is a tough team.
Yeah.
It's nice to see Illinois get that next thing, although I didn't have either of them picked to get to the Final Four, and one guy in our bracket has Illinois winning, so I was almost like hoping Iowa did pull off the upset against him just because that would knock him out, but either way, I have him going out, I think, next round anyway, possibly, unfortunately, if you're an Illinois fan. But, we got money on the line. I'm going with the money. I'm saying go with the dollars are.
I'm going to grab something real quick here.
All right. Let me see here. I got a thing from Ryan. Share thoughts yet about Braxton being an exclusive craft beer for the Reds. I'm sure they are the only MLT that does that for money in the city. We talked about Braxton becoming the craft beer brewery for the Reds. I think it was last week or the week before. I will say I don't know if there's other craft beers there in the stadium. No, I don't know if you know, Ryan, if you went to opening day. I'm trying to think. When I was in Baltimore, we had like a variety of different craft beers available, although Heavy Seas had a spot at the ballpark. And I would think in the past when I went to the Reds games, they had other draft choices. And I will say, I will be going to a Reds game here, I think in April or May. One of our companies we work with have gotten us tickets to be able to attend the event. So I will be seeing what other beers that are there. But I know the beers that Braxton put into the Reds ballpark look to be solid. So that'll be kind of interesting.
Speaking of Cincinnati.
Oh, a little Rhine Guys action. Beer for humans.
Beer for humans. So first time trying this one.
Rhine Guys is another one that does a lot of great community stuff. So I think each Wednesday they do different things where they donate to a certain charity. So every Wednesday they rotate charities where every dollar from a sale or whatever gets donated to them. So again, one of those breweries you can feel good about supporting for sure. Home prices around me 2.5 times greater than they were in 2014. Yeah. Well, you got a lot of investors that are buying up homes too, which are driving up prices. It's really screwing over kind of some of the families that want to get a house though, because they're not going to pay what the investors want to pay. And it's just, they need to stop letting investors buy houses, in my opinion. But yeah. Loud Nightlife in Indy when a Pacers. Yeah, that's the thing. When I was there and they had the Pacers game, things seemed to be closing down by the time the game was over. It's like I said, right next to where the stadium is or the arena, we had the Yard House, which they got their share of the crowd, or some people just went there instead of the game. But there was other stuff that wasn't open. It was really kind of surprising. Now, maybe they've updated it since when I was there last year, but that's only a year, so it couldn't have been too much. Mm-hmm. Told all going to be a variety of Braxton. Well, interesting. Yeah, when I go to the game, I'll take a look around the stadium and check out what they actually have there. Kind of go from work to kind of get like maybe a quick couple videos in for this, and then come back to the event. So, I gotta go do my side job right now. I'll be right back.
You gotta get a video of that new Joey Votto clock out there.
Yeah, everybody seems to love the clock. I mean, I've seen it online. Looks pretty decent, but they were all taking pictures around it and stuff like that on opening day. So Joey Votto's a good guy. I mean, it's sad that he went to another team after he left here. He didn't retire as a Red, but obviously we know the dollar's coming to play for that.
He never played a game with Toronto, so
yeah. He'll always be seen as that Cincinnati player, and hopefully he gets into the Hall at some point. Obviously, the Reds Hall he'll get into, but hopefully the National he'll get in as well. But let's see here. So funny that we kind of segue into baseball because baseball was actually the next thing coming up here. Let me see. Pull this up. So for those of you looking to go out there and maybe catch a game, we have the 9 best deals at MLB stadiums in 2026. How timely for the beginning of the baseball season. Now we have Coors Field. They actually do a $3 rooftop beer special. $3 beer special right up until the scheduled first pitch. So you got to get there early before the game starts. But you can enjoy that, get your buzz on, and then let it settle out during the course of the game. And then we also have Dalkin Park, $5 Friday. That's actually the Houston Astros. Budweiser draft for $5. I know what you're saying. It's Budweiser, but it's a $5 draft at a ballpark.
Yeah.
So not saying you got to be thrilled about it, but you might get a craft beer and then get like 2 of the buds and you're good to go. But that is available between 5 and 7. So plenty of time to knock back a couple, as mentioned here in the piece as well. Got Chase Field, Arizona Diamondbacks, and where they have the $4.99 daily deals throughout 2026. Menu includes peanuts, popcorn, and value dog for $2.99 each, which really, when you see some of the prices at ballparks, that's really good for food stuff because you can easily be in your pocket for $30 or $40 just on food alone. Let's see, get this off here. And then we got here in Cincinnati, Great American Ballpark, right? We got this. This is the $3 Tuesdays. So we actually have a $3 Tuesdays where we're going to do $3 Tuesday home games. You can get a cold one from Porkopolis concession stand or the various beer carts, but also you can get the hot dogs for $2 and you get ice cream cups for $1. So 3, 2, 1. Like they said here, lunch, drink, and a dessert for $6 at the ballpark. Now, make sure you can drink a beer for your lunch if you're going back to work. I don't want y'all getting in trouble, but but yeah, those day games, that's not a bad deal to go sit and enjoy as well, especially on those Tuesdays. So keep that in mind. Comerica Park, Detroit Tigers up in Michigan, they get the $5 daily deals. $5 available in sections 214 and 333 at the Miller Lite Market. So I guess you'll be getting Miller Lite there, 12-ounce beer can for $5, which 12-ounce beer can, if it's Miller Lite for $5, that's overpriced. But again, it's at a ballpark, so what are you going to do? City Field has the $5 Tuesdays that you get $5 for a 12-ounce Coors Light to watch the Mets again. $5 Coors Light, you're stretching it there, but if you really just wanted to save some bucks and just have something easy that it's not going to get you hammered, I guess you can enjoy that as well. I probably would opt to upgrade on that one, but that's just me.
Did you see further down that list, like they'll sell you a 6-pack of Miller Lite and Coors Light for $61?
Yeah.
$61 for a 6-pack? $10 a fucking beer for Coors Light?
Yeah, if you're looking at the park to share with your friends, Miller Lite and Coors Light remain your cheapest at $61. Working out just over $10 per beer. Yeah, no. Yeah, you don't need to be messing around with that. Yeah. But they do have a $5 Tuesday package, which includes 22-ounce fountain soda, 20-ounce Smart Water, Nathan's hot dog, soft pretzels, and popcorn. So you can maybe just make up on the munchies and then save some money there and then get a craft beer. And then you have T-Mobile Park, $5 daily deals that they are actually doing. 15 value, 15 value beer options for $5 to $8. Keystone Light and Miller High Life. You know what? I'm going to be disappointed with the Miller High Life, though. I mean, if I want to go macro, Miller High Life is one of those I can sit there and enjoy. Priced at $5. Yeah, that's not bad. I can take that. I would take that over the Bud or the Coors Light or something like that. A 12-ounce malt Bale Breaker 5-star dive bar costs $6, as does a non-alcoholic selection that comprises Blue Moon, Corona, and Athletic. So you got to put some NA beers out there too. So yeah. Then we have Busch Stadium with the Cardinals. They got the $5 daily drafts. And obviously, I'm going to say that's probably Budweiser because it is there in St. Louis as well.
Yeah, but you could get Elysian and
it says out here for 11.
Stella.
Yeah, it says you can, if you opt out for a premium or specialty, it'll be 11, but that includes Angry Orchard, Blue Moon, Bud Light Seltzers, Corona, Elysium.
Yeah, Elysium's
Goose Island.
that's good. That's a solid beer.
Yeah. Is it $11 at the ballpark solid, though? I mean,
compared to what it is at Wrigley Field, that's great.
Okay, there you go. So, yeah. They also had a full buffet menu. Now, this is where you might want to look at. Includes dogs, nachos, salads, brats, and desserts, starting at $50. That's probably one of the more value meals you can get there to enjoy the game because you have all that snack food for the one price. Yeah,
$50 and it's the full buffet. Yeah, that's not a bad deal.
That's not a bad deal at all. So that would be something to consider there. And then you have at Lone Depot, the $5 drafts, which is where the Marlins actually play. 12-ounce draft beer at $5. To see which one. Do you buy this for Familia Faves? You also find a hot dog for only $3 as well. Doesn't say what the beer is that I see here, though. But, it's probably one of the macros as well. So if you're looking to go to a ballpark, those are some of the ones to actually check out if they're near you that you might want to sit and enjoy. I'm trying to think the most I've paid for a beer at a game. When we were in Baltimore at the Orioles, I think we were paying maybe 11 for a beer, but it was also the 19.2 ounce.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a 12 ounce either. So it was like, okay, well, it's a bigger can. So yeah.
Yeah, Wrigley Field, it's a left nut. It's like, forget it. Luckily, I got a guy.
Yeah.
I got a guy. All right.
Yeah. I still say as far as somewhere where you go to a venue for something like that and you got to buy a beer, I still say the movies are probably the best place that I've seen where you get like a 22 ounce or whatever like that. And it's like $8 or something. It's like the only thing that's priced not bad to movies is if you get a beer, if they serve alcohol. But I'm going to skip to this one here. I had another one lined up, but since we're on the ballpark theme, let's stick on the ballpark theme, right? So we're going to go outside the Midwest some, and we're going to take a look at Colorado.
Yeah.
Seeing if this might be a challenge that you may want to do if you get to the Rockies, or
I could do this in my sleep.
No, off your head. 9 hot dogs, 9 beers, 9 innings. It's the 999.
I could do that.
999. That's from a movie too. Challenge.
They're mini hot dogs and they're mini beers.
Yeah, that's the thing. When I first saw 9 beers and 9 hot dogs, I'm like, oh, you're trying to get people lit up. But no, they're actually like flight beer sizes that you're looking at on the beers here. So you have the 9 beers, the 9 little, basically coney type hot dogs, and it's a challenge they're doing at the ballpark. Now, it doesn't say what you get or win from the challenge, but I'm thinking in 9 innings, I think that can be done rather easily.
Oh, I get that done by the top of the 4th.
Right. It doesn't seem like it's that tough.
Yeah.
I wish they would have said what you actually get from doing the challenge.
It's a 4-ounce pour. So you're talking, 3 beers.
Yeah.
So 3 12-ounce beers and 9 mini hot dogs. Dude, I could do that any day of the week.
Yeah. Now, to do the challenge is $65. It does tell you that. Now, I don't know if you get it. If you finish it, you get a T-shirt or something else as well. I feel like you have to give them something because $65 just to do this.
Yeah.
One, would you want to pay $65 for the challenge? That's the other thing too.
You know what? If you look down to the bottom, they have other teams that do this. What looks like Kansas City, Philadelphia, and San Francisco.
Right down here with the other teams listed.
I think people spend the $65 just to get the 9 little mini cups. Clowns like us would do that. Oh, look at this glass. We could reuse these glasses. Idiots are doing that.
That's true. That's true. You do have that where you can keep the glasses there. Yeah. Are they glass though, or are they plastic? That's
probably plastic. Yeah.
Yeah, but if they have like they do have the logo on here. So you put them in the collection, and for someone that's like a baseball type fanatic, and if you're going to like the people that go to the different ballparks, it's definitely something you can add to your collection.
Oh yeah, so, I'm telling you right now, there's no doubt in my mind I could do this.
Yeah. So it might pan out for some to actually be able to
But
ahead
like
and
you
do that
did it all
challenge.
at once, so you're gonna like knock those beers down. You're not gonna wait. That beer is going to be warm in a hot summer day in the ninth inning if you're waiting to do it, to drink that beer in the ninth inning.
Yeah. And I think it didn't mention the beer, so it'd be kind of nice to know, like, if you could do it, like, with, like, if it's going to be just all, like, Miller Lite or Bud or something where you have, like, craft beer selection you can choose. That would make it more worth it, too. But they're like, oh, you can do the 9 because you're Colorado, obviously, a lot of craft beers, and you can choose from a list of craft beers for your 9. Yeah. That makes it even more worth it for the $65. So, yeah. And then I have forgot. It's like with everything else happening out there now, we actually have the World Cup coming up. And so, like, Ales West had announced where they're canceling the beer fest they were doing because of the World Cup impact. And I'm like, oh, yeah, the World Cup is coming up this time of year. They're out in Missouri, and they usually have a festival. But because of everything taking place and the resources being poured in, where they have the festival at is located close to where the World Cup is going to be there. Yeah. And it's like a week difference between the two. So they went ahead and decided to cancel. But any aspirations for the World Cup? Anything you're thinking like you might want to check out with it?
It sounds like it's a shit show, just the prices for everything. It's like I want nothing to do with it. I mean, I'm going to be rooting for Italy. If Italy makes it in, they've got one more game to go. I'll root for Italy. And that's about it.
I know years ago, and one of the guys I used to work with, I'm talking about years and years ago, I should say, because I can't remember the last time the U.S. held it here. But
94.
Okay, so that was probably it then, because the company I was at would have been like in 2000 and probably around 2002, 2003 when I had the conversation. And the person I was talking with that I worked with, a colleague, mentioned how he went to he was going around to the different games, and he was up in Detroit, and he had the Lions Stadium.
Yeah.
And it's just like all the people were there from all different countries. Well, obviously, when we go to a soccer match, it's changed now versus what it was then. But back then, it was kind of like almost like a tennis match, right? Like you're sitting there, you're just watching. Well, all these other countries, they got their songs, they got their dances. Yeah. They're jumping up and down like in unison. And he's sitting there in the Lions Stadium, which I don't know, at that point, may not still been as secure as it should be. And he could just feel the building shaking, it was freaking him out. And then he was talking about riding the subway or whatever between the different things going to the games, and how there was almost fights on the subway between the different countries and different stuff. So kind of crazy.
Yeah, I went to one of the games here in 94. It was like Bulgaria and Greece, and they had it at Soldier Field. And it's just wild. You'd see some games like way, way back, the Chicago Sting back in the 80s. They would, they were pretty big in the North American Soccer League. But I mean, Bulgaria and Greece, Chicago is a pretty big Greek community. And it was just insane. You never saw crowds like that.
Yeah. That's a good question, Ryan. What say you, Dave? Mm-hmm. Would you finish the challenge if it was Mick Ultra beer?
Oh, yeah, I'll finish that challenge. I'll be done with that in the third inning.
Mick Ultra or not, you would definitely still finish it.
I'm killing that challenge. We could make that the next live stream. We could just have, we could get 9 mini pours and 9 hot dogs, and we'll do a Manning cast, watch a baseball game together.
We'll call it the Doggone It Show or something, right? Yeah. So actually, Dave got a beer there the second, and I just actually decided to pour one here. And what did you get, Dave, before I show my beer?
I got that Rheingeist beer.
That's good. You did the Rheingeist. Okay. I thought you got another one since then for some reason. But and I actually have decided to crack open one of the locals. We both go local again. Well, Dave's at my local with the Rheingeist here, but I actually went with one here, local from Mantry. And let's see here. I'll pull it up so you can actually see it. And this is one of my stouts that I really enjoy from a local experience. It is their Axis Monday. When I found out they were canning it, it was automatically, pick up a 6-pack. It's one of the great local stouts that are done as far as just a base stout. I miss the variants because they used to have a good amount of variants that you would get like in the bottles and stuff. But just as a nice imperial stout, this one definitely delivers. So that's what I'm actually drinking in my glass right now.
Very nice.
Yeah, here's a look at it there as well. So it's a stout. It's dark, and that's, what you expect. But I love the coffee bean that they do with it and the flavor of it, the body of it. It's just solid.
Speaking of coffee bean and off like the subject, did you see that thing that was floating around social media? A listener of my show sent it to me over on, I think it was Instagram, and people were taking like the cone, like you pour your coffee grounds in there and then you pour your hot water to make your coffee. Yeah. They were doing that. So they had like the filter with coffee grinds and they were pouring a Guinness to seep into the coffee. And then I'm like, that's got to kill the carbonation of the beer. Like that's got to taste like shit.
Well, it's going to, I would think, yeah. I mean, I think it would definitely more smooth to kind of make it more like maybe a nitro type feel, but like all that carbonation going into the paper filter and in the coffee grounds, I would think by the time that drips down to your glass, that's just going to be flat Guinness with no foam. And that's like part of the joy of Guinness is, you get that wonderful head, you get that nitro can, or you get it on tap. I'm like, that does not look good at all to me. It's like, I see you abusing beer and I'm not happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen people do stuff with the French press, which you can actually do, which is a neat idea, but it doesn't lose the carbonation. But that's interesting on that there. No, I have not seen that. Yeah. Now, the big thing with Guinness now is that people are doing the 60-40 split, I know, especially overseas where they're doing 60 like Guinness draft and 40 of the NA, kind of bring it down a little bit more. But again, ever since I went Guinness for an extra stout years ago, I can't go back to regular Guinness. It doesn't feel right. It's just like knowing that Guinness is over here with this foreign extra. I feel like I'm missing something anytime I have a regular Guinness. I don't hate the Guinness draft. It just doesn't feel right to me.
I have one more in my fridge because I did that soluble oak thing that we were talking about earlier. And it's just like, I mean, it's good. It's a really good beer.
Yeah.
But it's not the first thing I'm going to grab in the fridge.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and like I said, Guinness is Guinness, and Guinness is just history. It's nostalgia. It's a well-made beer, but it's just, things have changed, so it's kind of Newcastle and the brown ale. Newcastle brown ale is the reason we have brown ales here in the country, because they were the ones that opened that door. But now it's not like you're going to go out there and maybe reach for a Newcastle with all the other brown ale options that we have.
If you can find a brown ale, there's not a lot.
You can find them. Well, we're fortunate here in Cincinnati that we have people making brown ales, and Ryan can attest to that as well. We do have some breweries doing it, but I was like, see a brown ale. Again, I like to look for the stuff that's brown ale, black IPA, things that you're not seeing other people all kind of doing. I want to see those different type things, which is hard for breweries because if most people don't know, they're not buying them, and it's a bottom line they got to look at. But when I see them, I'm like, let me get that, let me get that barley wine. Let me do these other ones here. So, yeah. But Ryan asked, what did you think of the Rheingeist? He had that one 3 years ago. Just thought it was kind of all right.
I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's more of a session. I thought was that 4.5%. I mean, solid for what it is. If you're looking for something like low alcohol, nice flavor to it. I mean, it's not a horrible beer. Would it be something I would grab all the time? Probably not, but I just got like really bad static in my ear. Maybe it's my headphones. But if you were to hand me that, I'd be like, okay, that's cool. Good. Thanks.
Yeah. I actually had that beer last April. Last August. I'm looking on my Untapped. And I had it on draft because I had it at the airport. And a good mouthfeel, lighter overall body, nice, easy drinker. Good, clean, and crisp feel, decent floral presence. I gave it a 4 out of 5 when I had it there.
I mean, it's too far away to reach. It was at my Binny's, which is the big chain liquor store here. It was in the build your own mix pack, and some of those are dusty. Like you got to really look at the dates, and especially if it's a brewery that the date code isn't that great, you're like rolling the dice. But that tasted pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't say this is old. I mean, it's a solid beer.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely not hating on it. I have another Rheingeist in here too. I saw 2 of them. Like, let me grab those for the Midwest show here.
Yeah, I had it at Regina's Kitchen out here at CVG before I got on the plane, I'm sure. Third Eye, Black Walnut Brown, become one of the best sellers. Amazing. Yes. And that's one I actually have here too. I need to do the review on that one as well. But that's one that's won a good amount of awards. And then Getting Twisted that we talked about won some awards, I think, too. So their name is out there. People know Third Eye about Cincinnati now, which is great. So again, we're not as big as Chicago in a lot of people's eyes, but we got a lot of good beer here. Let's see here. Let's go international on this one. Which is kind of interesting. And I actually had gotten a press release about this, but I hadn't done anything with it. So it's good to talk about it here on the show as well. But Molson sorry, not Molson, Moosehead, not Molson.
Moosehead, yeah.
Unless Moosehead owned by Molson, maybe? I can't remember.
I thought Moosehead was still independent, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
Where's Shane? We need Shane. Shane.
We need Shane. Where's Shane at? Yeah, right. Yeah. We need Shane here.
Where do you all
stop seeing us at? Yeah. They lost space beer to mark Canada's historic deep space mission. So this is something they came up with. They'll be soon traveling out to space, and they made like this, I guess, space beer, which you can test here if you're in Canada. You can, I guess, be able to get this from Moosehead. I'm not sure if you have to go to the brewery or somewhere else, but they did say people could actually have this made available. But it's
freeze-dried beer with no alcohol.
Yeah, that's the thing. Freeze-dried, no alcohol. I don't know what you're really supposed to do with it, right? So it's kind of like...
I mean, it's a cool gimmick.
Yeah. I guess if you went to try it here, you went the NA type thing, then that would actually work out to be able to do something like that. They're doing it with Future Food Studio. And I will say that the look of it is pretty cool. I mean, the picture of it is pretty nice, pretty decent. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. They did it with the no alcohol. So I don't know why that was kind of done that way. But you got to think, you wonder if you go to space, like, are we making things that they can actually have up there to be able to drink and be able to enjoy? I mean,
I don't know if you're going to be flying a rocket ship if you want them drinking Malort or anything up there. You might want to keep them. Yeah, you just might need to be cool for a couple of weeks while you're up there.
Definitely not Malort.
Yeah.
But if it's not your shift.
Yeah,
to fly the shuttle or whatever, the rocket ship.
Houston, we got a problem. Yeah.
You can't let your hair down a little bit. Yeah. Oh, it's still privately owned. Okay. Yeah. But it's kind of like, I mean, that's one of those type of things. It's kind of like, is there a point where you can actually have something enjoyable to be able to drink or whatever? I feel like, of course, it was a movie back then, but I felt like the Alien movie, they were drinking on the alien ship before shit went bad after that. I would have probably drank more after the alien showed up and killed somebody.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're going to die anyway. I might as well be drunk.
Yeah, the Romulan ale in Star Trek.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had replicators, too. They would just say, Vulcan bourbon whiskey or whatever it may be, and it was just like... and it would just make it in there. That'd be kind of cool. That's much better than the Keurig, I tell you that. Just walking over one day, like, make me a double bourbon on the rocks or whatever. It just like generates this thing there for you. That'd be cool. That's what we're supposed to be at in the future. If they do that with AI, I'll be happy. The people can hate AI all they want, but I can make a drink out of thin air. You got me one over already. And of course, this past week, although I have not had one yet this year, but for me, it always signifies the beginning of spring. Although Mother Nature said, Lee Corso voice, not so fast. Not so fast, my friend. But it was Oberon Day. So Oberon usually is that first indicator of it being spring. That just happened this past week. I will definitely probably get my hands on some just to sit back and enjoy, because I feel like Oberon's just one of those beers you can just sit out back, drink when the weather's breaking, and just do whatever. You can type on the computer, you can take it on the golf course, you can just, it's just a great thing to welcome spring in, to have that Oberon there. So do you think that is the most iconic beer of Bell's at this point? Like, if you just say what beer is iconic of Bell's, would it be Oberon? Would it be Two Hearted?
Yeah,
Two Hearted be bigger than Oberon?
I don't know. There's still a lot of people that don't like the old school West Coast IPA. So I think Oberon is more approachable to more people. Really good beer. I think I would have to go with the Two Hearted or the Hop Slam if I had to pick one.
Hop Slam is pretty iconic. I mean, people, but then again, Hop Slam used to fly off of shelves, and it sits around now. At least here in Cincinnati, we see it sit around for a bit of time. Even like the Goose, just like Goose Island does with Bourbon County. Be interested. Maybe do a video on that. Like, just put the poll out or something. Like, or put out Hop Slam, Oberon, Two Hearted, one of the other Bells, and which do you see the more iconic of these beers?
They have a great brown ale, and like their stouts are killer.
Yeah.
I mean, everything Bell's puts out is good. Like, I don't think you've ever said, I've had a bad Bell's. They're all good. Yeah. But I don't know. I think if I had to pick one, I'd probably go with Hop Slam or Two Hearted. Okay. Yeah, the one Oberon, I did have the one variant of the Oberon I was not a fan of, which was the Midnight. Is the blue? Is that the blue one with the label? Yeah, the Midnight or something like that. Yeah, which was just like Although I do say I would love the habanero version. I would love to try it, but you got to be up there at the general store to pick that one up. But THC. Thanks, Mike DeWine, on that one there. Here in Ohio, at least, of course, across the country, it's being squeezed by the end of the year. But we have right now in Ohio trying to get people to collect signatures in to make Mike DeWine, to veto Mike DeWine basically killing THC drinks here. Officially, they were banned here on March 20th. Killed a lot of the different businesses. I mean, we have Rheingeist and Urban Artifact and Brewdog, all these different places that are all coming together. Like, even like the Brewers Association has chimed in on this, trying to overturn the ban that took place here, which is stupid. It's in Ohio. One of the driving factors was they were afraid, it could end up in kids' hands. Well, parents be parents, blah, blah, blah. But then again, if you're worried about kids walking into a gas station and buying, they just say gas stations can't sell it. Yeah. Put it into the hands of the liquor stores, put it into the hands of direct breweries that can sell it themselves, that can monitor that kind of thing. You don't have to worry about that kid type situation. And it's you kill a whole industry for one little thing. It's kind of like, I stubbed my toe, so we're cutting off all feet. Yeah, like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. It's like back in high school. Some kid messed up, and the rest of us ran laps because one kid messed up. It's like, come on. Yeah. It's like Full Metal Jacket, But, one guy can't keep up. Kind of along the same thing. Like, I just saw this week that Popsicle, and I forget the company that's going to produce it, they're coming out with like hard versions that taste like the great Popsicle or whatever. You have no problem putting that out. Kids look at this. I mean, they just see Popsicle.
Yeah.
So, I mean, don't give me this bullshit like all kids can have these, THC beverages. No, just be an adult, make sure it's sold in a liquor store or whatever, and be done with it.
I mean, me and you both, we grew up as Gen Xers.
Yeah.
We lived through the candy cigarettes. We don't have a problem where you're canceling all cigarettes.
Yeah.
We're not getting lured into kind of stuff. It's kind of like, what is the deal? Like, you think, like, people always say they want less government in a while, but you don't have more government coming in controls. It's just like the mixed hypocrisy and stuff like that. It just kind of drives me crazy. But yeah, so on the site, they have the SaveOhioBevs.com, which is a link you can go to sign to try to get this across to the state legislatures. The state legislature saying to veto Mike DeWine on this type of thing. And if you're watching from other areas, we're Ohio, so this is on the state here, but Trump on the national level has it out there until like September or whatever. So all these states could be affected at some point.
Yeah, I think November is the cutoff. So
November.
It could be done all around the country in November.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab one more.
Okay. So they said last week, Ohio breweries failed to collect enough signatures for a referendum. And I think now they may have enough. According to Ryan here, they said they have 10,000, which I think 10,000 is what they needed. So now they should be able to kind of hopefully get this addressed. But it's crazy. It's just like you're cutting off, your finger despite your hand. It's just, it's stupid. It's dumb. It's just like, it makes no sense. And they're trying to say, well, you force it into the dispensaries and you had the dispensaries actually sell the product. Well, the thing is, dispensaries don't want to really sell these because they're not profitable for them. Yeah. People going to dispensaries usually want either the weed or some other type of thing. The gummies, a different variant. They don't want the drinks. And if you're looking at actually having things ID'd properly, who's better trained to ID people than the liquor stores or the breweries, right? So it's stupid. It's a self-inflicted wound that didn't need to happen.
I mean, and there does need to be some more, I don't know, some more safeguards in place. Like it's a THC NA beer that's out there that they were offering like, they're just trying to get their product in the hands of people to try. So I'm like, all right, I'll pick this up. I'll give some to Peggy and I'll have her try it. But I got a 4-pack of this. I just typed in my date of birth, and I just paid like $4.99 per shipping for this. So, I mean, any kid could do that. Now, granted, you have to have a credit card, but, I'm sure kids
get their parents' credit cards. Yeah.
So I don't know. I do think there needs to be better ways of enforcing this where you have to like physically show an ID or just like beer, like no one's gonna card us gray beards, but online you don't know how old we are.
Actually, we do get carded in Ohio like Kroger, which is kind of a weird type thing. But Kroger has a thing now when you buy alcohol, they have to see your license so they can take the code off the back of the license. Like, dude, like seriously, look at me. I'm not under 21.
Yeah, dude, I got gray pubic hair for fuck's sake. I'm fucking 21. God damn.
This is like So that's a big thing taking place here as well. JV said, I think it'd be cool if they made beer that tastes like beer again. Too many fruity, sour, bitter beers now. They do have some. I mean, they have, you still have your traditional. That's like the beer I drank earlier, the Double Jack from Firestone Walker. I mean, nice to get back into that West Coast feel, right? It's not one of the ones that are being done today. And we just had the one that we just did. Both of us had done Sun Glider.
Yeah.
Which was a great lager, solid lager, great one for spring. I mean, that's one I've got like a few others. I'll be sitting out. If it gets warm again, I can sit out back and just enjoy a few of those. And,
everybody's putting out a good craft lager now. Like, I've talked about it numerous times, like that one from Deschutes that they sell at Costco. Get a 12-pack of that for $13. And it's an GABF gold medal winning beer. It's phenomenal. You get that for, $1.10 a can. Can't go wrong with that. Just an
No.
absolute killer Helles lager.
Yeah. I need to go to Costco at some point just to check it out. But the problem I have is I say this all the time. I feel like I just have too much beer.
Yeah.
I got the mini fridge here. I got the mini fridge here. I picked up a mid-sized fridge to put in the basement. And I still got like 4 boxes of beers I can't put anywhere yet because I don't have the room for it.
Yeah,
now, the one in the basement.
I hope my wife is watching this right now.
Yeah.
Ruby, are you watching this? I just have one. All I got is one.
The problem with the midsize is I have a lot of the 22 ounce or 25 ounce bottles, right? So the shelves don't line up. So I had to pull 2 shelves out to even get the space. Like I can still use another beer fridge. Hey, New Air, if you're watching, I'd be more than happy to sponsor another one. You sent me this one before, so feel free to shoot me another one. But
motherfucker got a fucking beer fridge out of this?
it was years ago. But I'm like, dude, like it's now, obviously, which we're always appreciative, one of our, basically I'll say me, you, a few of the other folks, Beer Patrol, and I think Ron Thero gets in some other Firestone Walker's been like sending us. I'm like, you said you got your shipment earlier today, and I'm like, I don't need it yet. I don't need it because I don't know where to put it yet. Yeah. So, but I know it's probably on the way. So, it's a good problem to have. But
it's first world problems.
First world problems. Like you got beer, you got too much beer. Like I told people at work this week, I may have some of you guys come up and just have like a backyard party and just help me drink some of this beer out there. So
I'll provide the beer. You bring the the steaks and the hot dogs, and we'll throw them on the grill.
Problem is the beers I got all down there are like the big barrel aged imperial stuff, so they may all sleep here if they come. So. Like I don't want nobody driving home after drinking too much of those. Just treat any THC drinks over a certain number of mg as a hard liquor, and anything below that as a beer. Infrastructure and regulation is already in place. Yeah, it's easy. You can actually do other opportunities. Like I said, like whether you want to put them in the liquor store hands or the breweries that are out there doing it, have them. Rheingeist, they got into it. Urban Artifact teamed up for the Costello brand with someone. They have different ones that are able to kind of do some things. So mechanisms already out there. But
before we go off of this, so like we're talking about write your people in office in Ohio. Is weed legal in Ohio or not?
Yes.
Okay. So you could go to a dispensary, but you can't go get a THC beverage. I don't get that. Yeah, that's the thing I was saying. I think that's when you step the way to get the beer is what the governor trying to say is, well, we're going to put them in dispensaries. Okay. The dispensaries don't want them. The dispensaries is not profitable for them to actually have the THC drinks. They're like, no, our people are coming in, they're getting actual weed or whatever, the other stuff for their vapes or whatever it may be. They don't see the need to have the drinks in there, so they don't really want to get into that. So it's kind of like, and it's a lot of shelf space too for those. Yeah.
They're not set up for it. You go in there now. It's just like you almost have to wait. They only take a certain amount of people in at one time. Mm-hmm. You got to go in there. You got to wait. They got to go in the back to do whatever your order is and all kind of stuff. Put it all together. So it's kind of a mess. So you want to try to throw more of a burden on them that don't want to have it. And they're not really trained on doing a lot of different stuff with it too. Yeah. So it's crazy. Firestone Walker did the double jack. They got some great stuff happening. I got to still get some of their Brewmaster stuff up here on the channel as well.
I'm doing the Mind Haze right now. They just sent over a mixed pack of this. This is just the basic juicy hazy IPA, 6.7%. Solid beer.
Yeah, so you just got the Firestone today, and I know one of them is a new variant. So what did they have inside of it? Do you remember?
They have there were 2 like Imperials, and the way my box is set up here, I can't see the others, but yeah, they were 2 different like variations like of an Imperial where they were like 8% and up.
Yeah. So I knew one of them was a newer one they were bringing out as well. Mm-hmm. Every crap, a lot of them pretty much because that's how it's shifted and stuff. Again, you're meeting the customers where they're at, and more customers are wanting lagers.
I mean, and they're lower alcohol beers. Now, granted, it takes longer to make, but lower alcohol. You're not spending a shit ton of money on hops, where you're not like, throwing in dry hopping. God only knows how many tons of Citra and all of that. I mean, I would think it's a cost-effective beer to make for a brewery outside of the fermentation time.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I may take you up on that. And he said, to quote Hunger Games, I volunteer as a tribute. So I'm only up the road from the fermentorium where we met a few weeks back. Well, I guess like a month or so back now. Time really is flying. So I got a lot of the bigger bottle type things, as I've kind of went down and kind of like, I'm not going to drink this much today or that much, blah, blah, blah. I got these big bottles where it's like, hey, I can split this with people, but who do I I got nobody to split it with. Because the wife, she's drinking wine. She's not really drinking it beer. Yeah. So, I got her she's like a Sapporo type. I get her 6-pack of Sapporo. We'll sit in there for like 3 months before she drinks it. So it's like, she's not going to help me out.
So you got to drink it yourself. Someone's got to take one for the team.
Yeah. Now, understand, I've done that challenge many a time, and I have no problem doing it, but it's just, I'm trying to be healthier. I'm trying to be a healthy lifestyle a little bit more.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know what that really gets you at a certain point, but So this is one I came across as well. I figured this would be kind of fun to have you on because it's Chicago based. I don't know if you saw this already or not before I posted it there, but what are Chicago's favorite craft beers? Let me close this guy off. Why is this thing on there? I'm not gonna worry about it. Microbreweries, the larger scale. Readers told us about the dozens of local standout in Chicago. Kind of curious what your take is on some of these as well that are actually listed here.
I'll go right down the list. Like Industry Ales, like I've had some of their stuff. It's good. That was the one when I texted you a couple weeks ago when we were downtown about Exchequer. We were going there because I wanted to stop at Industry Ales because we went to an event at the Chicago Design Museum, and they had this exhibit on beer and beer can design and, all the design aspects of beer. And it was like, if you go to this exhibit, you can get like a free pint at Industry Ales. All right, so it's like 3 blocks away. We'll walk down there. We'll grab lunch. They're closed on Sunday, so I'm like, all right, well.
Oh, that's what you told me. So you told me somebody was closed, and that's who it was. Okay.
Yeah, but like they list here, Hop Butcher. You can't go wrong with Hop Butcher. Beguile is right around the corner from Hop Butcher. Really good, top to bottom. Whatever they do is good. Suncatcher is one I'm not familiar with. I have not had a chance to try theirs. Old Irving, killer.
Solid. Yeah, solid. I've had Old
Top
Irving.
to bottom. Yeah. I was just there for an event last Saturday. Absolutely killer stuff. They list Revolution. Say no more.
Yeah,
Dovetail. Exactly. I mean, Dovetails. If you like lagers and rauch beers, Dovetail is your place. Off Color, Maplewood. Everything here, I mean, they're all fantastic. Then you move down, Half Acre.
Yeah.
Moody Tongue is one of those places like they don't, from the stuff I've read, they don't treat people that well. I don't drink them. Their beers could be phenomenal. I would not know. So I've heard their beers are really good. I just don't drink them. Sketchbook is solid. Workforce is solid. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of the ones listed here. Like, you can't hand somebody one of these beers and say, oh, God, no, this is shit. These are all solid breweries.
Now, I will say,
3, killer.
I will say I have had Moody Tongue. Years ago, I had a few of their beers that I picked up we here at our party source, they sold the Moody Tongue beers. Didn't know like the stuff you had told. We talked about that later on, obviously, but a couple years ago, which they were very good. They were very solid. Very pleasing.
I remember having their stuff years ago before I got into this, and I thought they were good. Yeah. But, we've talked about this before. Like, for me, if the deal with Founders, if you're going to treat people like shit, if you're going to treat, people of color, women like shit, I don't need to drink your beer. I'll go to a place that treats people well, and I'm good with that. So if that's how you want to go through life, God bless you. I just won't drink you.
Right.
I wish you no harm. I won't provide free beers if you die, but I just don't care about you. I would rather support places like Old Irving, which put out killer beers.
Yeah. Yeah, which is why I don't have Founders. I haven't done Brewdog in a while. And, it's just, Ninth Hour. I've never heard of them before. I don't know.
What was that?
Ninth Hour.
No, I never
Cedar
heard of them.
Avenue, Lake Villa, and then Pollyanna. I haven't heard of them.
Pollyanna's good. No, Pollyanna is really good. Ninth Hour. Oh, that's Lake Villa. That's far. Like I wouldn't drive that far to see Jesus, much less grab a beer. But Pollyanna's really good. Pollyanna's really good. Phase 3 is phenomenal. I have not had Will County, but Unani, outstanding. Imperial Oak is great. Some of these places like Weiner just closed. I mean, they're all good. I mean, there's so many good breweries out there. You don't have to go far to get a good beer.
No, I've been to Chicago numerous times, never ran into an issue. So, well, it's like, you mentioned, we talked about when you went to Exchequer, because Exchequer or Miller Pubs are two of the places when we stay downtown, I usually end up falling into. They do a pretty good selection of local beers from around the area. So you can actually check out other stuff.
I forget the beer that I had. You know what? I could tell you the beer I had there because they had it on tap and it was Schlitz. So I'm like, I have to have Schlitz. I'm a Schlitz guy.
Yeah.
I had to have my Schlitz. So I had the Schlitz with the Italian sausage pizza.
Nice. That's nice.
There's not many places that get Schlitz on tap. So when I see it on tap, I'm like, yeah, right here.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with those two spots. They were like, 1945, 1950 or whatever you go back. So it's like you get all this Chicago like heritage that comes together. So Schlitz is like one of those they'll have the old school beers as well as some of the newer beers. You can really just feel that envelop into everything, which is great. When I go to Chicago, I'm letting Dave be my beer
absolutely,
tour guide. Yeah. Well, you got to go to Chicago, you got to let Dave know for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm there. Come soon. I'm probably up with this elbow for a while. So
Well, it's funny because one of the other guys, Ginger Yeti Beer Reviews, he was just flying through Chicago, and I'm like, Dave's out this week. Otherwise, you catch up with Dave because Dave would be working there possibly, and if you're close to the end of his shift, maybe he'll grab a beer with you or so. But you get to Chicago, you got to let Dave know. We had a blast when I was up there, and when we got together with the Hot Butcher and stuff. But Yeah, it was a while ago, wasn't it, Ryan? Like everything this year's running together so quickly.
It seemed like it was yesterday.
Well, between all stuff happening, I took a new promotion at work. I'm doing all this other stuff. It's kind of just been like time's just So but we got together over at Nine Giant Fermentorium, and it was fun. It was a great time, and I enjoyed their beers. It's funny because Nine Giant has a brewing. They had the brewery on the main street or the main strip on what we call Montgomery Road. And then around the corner, they had a fermentorium. And the fermentorium is where they do like private parties kind of stuff. But they also have more of their small batch brewing stuff, which is so much more better because I'm all into show me the stuff you're not showing everybody else, right? Yeah. So we had a great time doing that. Let me see here. We had that one. Let's see this here. So, we were talking earlier, way back in the start of the show about the whole article, the stupid article written by Vice and stuff. And this was one of the breweries that, I came across looking at stuff. Forthcoming Treeline Brewing. They're going to be opening up a new brewery.
I couldn't pull that link up, so.
Yeah, well, they're up in Milwaukee. Basically, former firefighter going to be going ahead and jumping into this brewery here. And it's one of those things, too. He's taking over another space. He was a lead brewer at another brewery. And it was more just we're seeing other breweries that are opening up still. Again, it's the whole, like, this bubble exploding type thing that people run with. I'm like, dude, like, you really have no idea what you're talking about there. So we had just one is closed and one is open, and it becomes a net of nothing. And it's just great to see this opportunity. So just kind of share that out there, just because people are just thinking it's gloom and doom, like we mentioned earlier. It's like, it's not. It's not. Yeah. This is just the business cycle you go through.
And the one thing that, I've always thought about, all right, so these breweries that are closing, but like somebody like this guy can now purchase all this equipment for pennies on the dollar.
Right.
And he might be making some killer beer. So yeah, there's opportunities out there.
Yeah. And it's like, it's part of the cycle. It's kind of like, life in the wild, one animal dies, but another animal eats something, and that animal becomes something else. It's like, it's just the evolution. It's just the movement of the market. So again, a lot of stuff happening. I believe it was Mike Ryan. That was the owner there we talked to at Nine Giant. I'll have to pull my information. I think I have his card here from when we met last year, but I'll double check that. But I got to still do the beer he gave me that night we got together to do a review on as well.
January, you got to drink that beer, son.
Oh, it's an Imperial Stout. Anything I usually get now, it's like I can hold on to it for a bit. It's like, if it's an IPA,
you got to put that video out.
Yeah,
January 3rd.
I don't know if you saw this or not on the video or my picture the other day. I'm like, wait, excuse me while I whip this out. I'm about to play the Saddles voice.
It's true. It's true.
This one will be coming soon for the review.
Nice.
So I finally got this one to cross off the bucket list. So stay tuned for that upcoming review. Shout out to my friends Angie and Brad that brought that back. They were actually out there for the Russian River Pliny the Younger event that took place last weekend. Yeah. And they actually brought some back, and they brought back some Pliny the Younger, but a couple of the bottles, unfortunately, didn't make it. And during the trip, they busted. I think one of the youngers they were bringing back was one that I was going to probably get, because they got like, I think 4 or 5, but they kept the ones they had. They were like, that's fine. I understand. I mean,
yeah.
Because
you got to get whale pods for shipping beer. You got to go out and buy some whale pods. Whale pods is some good shit right there for shipping beer.
Well, it's funny because we were all talking about it, and one of the other people I work with, they're like, because he has a special thing for when he goes on travels, like for whiskey and stuff, where he has like a case and it insures and all kind of stuff like that too. So yeah, but people are learning, so we try to say, hey, next time you go, we'll give you this type of thing you can use. But at least I have Pliny the Older, so I would actually get that scratched off the list here. So I'm looking forward to trying that one, and then. And that's the other thing too, when some of these breweries are actually not going to go on any further, other breweries are stepping in to keep their name alive, right? So this was just one of the stories I saw earlier, but Hoops Beer is going to basically be kept alive by Blacklist Brewing. They're going to be basically saving their name and brewing them forward. Here in Cincinnati, we see something like this with Taft Brewing. Taft Brewing closed, but they're actually, the company that took them over is still brewing Taft beer based off their recipe, so their name still stays.
Right, cool.
And, down the line, they might come back again, right? Someone else might buy that name and resurrect them as a location. So it's kind of cool. This is out of Duluth, Iowa, but apparently like Hoops was a very popular one. So Blacklist is like, hey, we'll keep your name around. We'll go ahead and keep brewing. We'll keep you going there. Their first one will be like their number 15 pale ale. So that's a cool thing. Again, the whole thing with craft brewing is the community aspect. So the way that some of the breweries jump in and help keep other ones out there is still part of the landscape. It's one of those good things you actually see here. So good for them for kind of doing that as well. And then now this one is actually pretty cool. And this is like the final news story that we have here tonight, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah. I'm like, you know what? If I was actually out there, I would definitely check this place out, which reminds me,
you got to do the Cincinnati Caves.
Yeah, well, Cincinnati with the caves, but we have some underground restaurants in Cincinnati I read about before coming back. But here on this one, get it pulled up. Historic beer caves are now open to the public event space. So they had these old beer caves that are located. Well, this was out of, let me see here, Eastern Iowa. They have these beer caves, and they're serving like restaurants and stuff to give a different experience. So you're underground in an old brewery that are kind of like hidden type thing. They were uncovered back in 2023, and they're kind of now bringing them open for service, which is pretty cool. I mean, I don't know if I get freaked out for being claustrophobic or anything, but I think it'd be kind of neat to actually get to this little cave here and have a little meal and enjoy some beer, and just be kind of I think a cool experience. I don't know what you think about it, but I think it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I at times get claustrophobic, so I mean, that'd just be a roll of the dice, you know. Yeah, but I think, like, from the picture on top, I think I'd be able to do that.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of something unique. Now, the ones they have in Cincinnati are kind of like this as well. But yeah, you can. Well, we have the subway tours. We have the underground like little cave type things, and then there's some restaurants that are kind of set up like this. So pretty cool. Just something to different aspect to actually do. But yeah, but that's really like a lot of the beer news for this week, which was kind of at first looking like there wasn't that much, but then we found more. So that's what we kind of do. Put on the research hat, see what was happening out there.
Always last minute, like, oh, we got to find some shit. Like, oh, look at, I found some stuff. Here we go.
But if people are ever looking to share things happening from their area, you know, feel free to reach out, let us know, email us, or shoot us a thing. And always looking to find out some details and tell some of the stories, so to speak.
You got some new merch? What do you got? Like is that like a do-rag? Is that a Rod J BeerVentures do-rag? What are you wearing on there?
Oh, this is like the what's it called? Like a skull cap or whatever. That's on the site now. So it's like a little skull cap type thing, and just put it on the head. And I was like, I didn't feel like putting a cap on. I figured I'd do something different here tonight. So first time actually wearing this one.
I've got a couple of these. Well, these are more winter ones, but
yeah, there you go.
I could trade you one of these here.
Yeah, there we go. Definitely. Yeah, it was one of the ones they brought in some new supplies they use like on spread shop and stuff. So I was like, oh, let me test that out, because definitely would have tested out before I recommend it. So
I'm always like wearing like do-rags and skull hats and stuff, and my wife like hates them. I'm like, I've been wearing this shit since before I met you, so it stays.
They're comfortable. Yeah. I was like, the only hat I don't like this wear is like a visor. Like, if you're going to do a visor, like, wear a hat or don't wear a hat. Like, it's got the hole in the thing. It's like, there's no need.
I mean, unless you're like Freddie Couples playing golf, like Freddie Couples looks good in a visor. Freddie Couples got a good head of hair. But unless you're Freddie Couples, you're not wearing a visor.
Well, like Steve Spurrier was always wearing it. Like, it's like, come on, just put a hat on or don't wear a hat. You know? Cheers to you as well, Ryan, and always great to have you on as well, my friend. But
Ryan, what, you gonna remind us about something, Ryan?
Yeah, Ryan, you're supposed to remind us.
Man.
You told me once, tell me again, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually crack open another one. I mean, we'll be ending here shortly, but
if
I got the beer, I might as well drink it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's perishable.
It's perishable. I'm gonna crack open one of the Firestone Sun Gliders.
All right, it's a solid beer.
Yeah, nice one to enjoy.
What do you got coming up in the near future?
There you go. So in the near future, I'm trying to get some stuff planned out. You mentioned earlier soluble oak. So going to look to get soluble oak on here. It looks like we may have some establishment for possibly getting something set up over the next couple of weeks.
All right.
For those of you that have not seen or know about soluble oak, this is actually what they created was something an instant pour that you can do. Now, if you're brewing, you will put this into like your bright tank after the fermentation, and it adds pretty much an oak flavor to your beer automatically without you having to do the barreling. If you're drinking like a regular beer like this, you can actually put a few drops in and it will mix into the beer, and it will provide a oak feel. So I have not done that yet. Dave has with the Guinness.
My little bottle here.
Yeah, a little bit potent.
Yeah.
And so your experience with it has been a great experience.
I have not put the video up. I'll put that up this week. I did a side-by-side with the Guinness draft. So I did the regular Guinness draft I did a couple drops. Definitely noticeable improvement. Gives it a nice woodsy, oaky flavor. You're not getting like bourbon barrel aged like you would associate with like stouts, but it definitely adds a nice little touch. It gives you a little more like vanilla. You get some of that woodsy vanilla-ish. I thought it was good. I'm a fan.
Okay. So we'll be sharing that. I was waiting to get the owner on, which it looks like we will for the live stream. We both talked about it, and he's like, yeah, it'd be great. We'll get on there. We can have like 2 or 3 beers and we can kind of sample and see how it does. So that's why I haven't shared it as of yet. So that is why I have this here, because he sent it to me. He's like, if you use this, it actually helps to measure out what you want to put into it as well. So appreciate him for sending that along the way as well, which was funny because it showed up. My wife handed me the package, like, you got an Amazon package. I'm like, I didn't order any Amazon. I know what it was. I was like, at first, like, I got to be careful here. It could be some, white powder in there or something. I don't know what's happening. I mean, I'm not a congressman or anything like that, but somebody could be after me right now. So, but that's what it was in the package.
Founders like, fuck you, motherfucker. You're not going to talk about us?
It could be. It could have been, right? So, shout out to you, Alex, as well, my friend. Great to see you. And, we'll probably catch up at some point. Not on this because this is like what we do here, but, we'll definitely chat and been definitely following you. I haven't chimed in as much, but I've been watching some of the live streams as well. Always great to see you. Ryan said you need to drink that Duvel. Here's the thing. So I got the Duvel, and I know with that I can hold it for a while. So it's like that's one of the ones that are in the basement right now because I'm trying to get through all the other beers I have to drink before it's past their prime, so to speak. So we got a Duvel that I picked up, and I don't know if you saw it that day, but it's aged in tequila and agave barrels. Really, I was surprised when I saw it. I'm like, I love Duvel. I'm like, okay, pick it up. And I did a video about it, and Ryan and them also picked it up, him and Matt too. They really enjoyed it as well. So I'm looking forward to actually getting into that one. But it's just so many beers. It's just
so little time.
And again, that's one of the ones that are like a 25-ounce bottle, right? It's like, I got to open it. I got to finish it. So, what I got to do tomorrow morning, because if I do this tonight, I might not want to do it in the morning. So, but I will get to it. And at some point here, I'm definitely eager to get into that one. I just haven't done it as of yet. So stay tuned. Again, it's just, you got to be careful when you get into this kind of thing. The beers add up for sure. You get a lot of beers on hand. Yes, sir. Cheers, Alex, my friend. Well, you're on the internet. You're on the net now. Well, unless you're on your phone, maybe. So, but what do you got coming on your show there?
I'm going to do coming up this week. I'm going to have Dave Thibodeau from Ska Brewing. We're going to talk about their new West Coast. So I had him on. So I'll have that out probably Monday night, Tuesday morning. That was fun. So I did a review of their new West Coast IPA from Ska. Really cool to talk to one of the OGs in craft beer. Ska's been around for 31 years. Yeah. So I've got that. A couple other people working on, I talked to you via text, whiskey company out of North Carolina that's reached out. So hopefully we could get them on, both of ours, I gave them your info as well. So hopefully we'll get some of that. Like to talk to the guy from Soluble Oak. A couple other things I have in the back of my head kicking, but we'll see what happens. But no, the Ska was good. Really good interview. That was a lot of fun. So I think that's going to be a good episode coming up this week.
Now, I'm drinking the Sun Glider, but you actually talked to the people that did the malt for the Sun Glider. Yeah. Did you release that one yet? Do you want to share details?
Yeah, that came out last week. That was long. Like the man could talk from the malt company. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, because it was like really fascinating learning the history of like that area, his company, California. Like, I did not know California was like the nation's biggest barley producer before World War II. So like getting into like some of the history of that, like their location is in an old World War II dry goods facility. So it was really cool to get into like the history of like the agriculture and the malt. And this guy came from a brewery as well. So that was really good. It's like an hour-long episode, but I thought that was really good. So if you have some time to kill, the last episode when I talked about the Sunglider beer and Admiral maltings, that was a great interview.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So if you get a chance, make sure to check out Dave over on Beer in Front as well to hear that, whether on the YouTube channel or the podcast or information there. I just kind of shared that out there as well. So the website details. Cheers to Sammy in the house. Sammy coming in on the back end.
Yep.
Cheers to you, my friend, down under. Happy Sunday to you now, right? Because you're still on Sunday already. Yeah, he's say 14 or 15 or something hours ahead of us. So
yeah,
he's probably enjoying some ham and eggs or something right now.
Yeah. Oh, they're getting ready for some football. You see that Australia game's going to be next year, opening weekend. What, the 49ers and somebody else? I forget who else they're playing.
Oh, playing in Australia. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize. They're trying to make the NFL so international, I know.
Yeah.
So I was actually watching some of the UFL game earlier today, which is interesting. The UFL now seems to be testing stuff that the NFL may adopt, right? Yeah. So, because it was the mix of the USFL and the XFL together, and it's kind of like the minor league for the NFL. But they added like any field goal over 60 yards now worth 4 points.
I like that idea.
Yeah, I like that idea. You can't punt if you're on the other side of the 50. Unless it's in the last 2 minutes, you have to go for it on fourth down, which I kind of like that as well. They added a couple other things there too. I don't remember them all offhand, but it's kind of like, they're the ones that kind of changed the whole kickoff type thing that we're seeing. Yeah. But they're being able to experiment and do some stuff. But I feel like the stuff they're adding is like there's less chance of that tie that's happening, and it keeps it more interactive. And I got to think, if you have a family experience, you're going to a football game, an NFL game versus going into a UFL game, it's kind of like a Major League Baseball game going to a AAA, right? So it could be a good experience and save a lot of dollars. So it'll be interesting to see how that actually keeps going. So I hope we don't end up bankruptcy like the USFL did at one point.
Yeah,
back in the day. A deep fried beer, what? Out of Athens, New York. Really good, flavor perfect. Body and mouth, the only thing stopping it from being a perfect 5. Do you remember what brewery and what beer it was, Sammy? So that might be something to definitely check out. Rams and Niners in Melbourne. So keen to go. So Sammy's on board.
All right.
Trying to get tickets, even though stadium holds 100,000 in. And that will be a huge game there. Well, that's like Wembley. When we played Wembley overseas, that's like a huge stadium that does like 100,000.
Yeah, Wembley ain't no 100,000 though. Didn't they do, Sammy, didn't they do a baseball game? Isn't that the old cricket grounds? Didn't they do like the Dodgers and somebody a couple years back at that stadium, if I remember right?
Oh, wow. Okay. Deep Fried Beers is the name of the brewery. I gotta look at my tap now. Yeah. See who these people are. I thought Wembley could hold that amount, but it's funny because I'm like, most of the NFL games are 60,000, 65,000.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's an NFL game. Michigan holds 110,000. How does a college hold more than an NFL game for people? That's kind of interesting.
Because college kids don't have money. NFL, they could charge the skybox people a shit ton of money.
Yeah, no, they don't have money, but their parents do, I guess. So, deep fried beers out of Athens, New York. Okay,
all right.
Had not heard of them before. Small brewery, nano brewery, focused on indulgent beers made to provide over-the-top flavor profiles and pack a punch. Let's see, what do they have there? They have a Nevermindin', which is a double IPA. 8.4. Hazy double with 8+ pounds per barrel. Citra and Cascade. They got some decent reviews. The Nevermind at 4.22 on average. Macrowave 4.31 on average. Racer Car Red 4.57 on average. Porgs in a Blanket 4.44. Unsportsmanlike Conduct 4.44. I gotta find some of these beers. I gotta reach out to some of our New York folks. They're all like over 4 for the most part. Wow. It's so funny how Sammy gets those over in Australia. And we're like,
who?
A couple states away. And we're like, who are you talking about? Like, how do we not get their stuff? So they're Nano Brewery and the marvel of the distribution system in America. Heap of fit-ins and Treehouse lately. He gets Treehouse over there. 10% triple IPA called Race Car Bed that drank like a 7% IPA. Okay. So I think the Race Car Bed was the one I just saw there.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, it was like 4.57 or something. So it's got appeal from people. Wow. Yeah. New brewery on the radar. There you go. Again, people talk about, the sky is falling. No, it's not. No, it's not. We got a lot of great beers that are out there still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just get out there and find the beers you're looking for. You said Black Market, though, boys. No. Or some rad contracts, let's be honest. Well, if it's in New York, I might be able to get our buddy Joe from the Beer Patrol to check it out. I would give him an assignment up there.
Yeah. Got a homework assignment for you, son.
Right. But that being said, I think we're wrapped up here for this week's beer news, or this past 2 weeks beer news. We'll be back in a couple of weeks to share some more details. If you guys got stuff out there, again, that you want us to try to tap into or share, feel free to reach out to either of us, shoot us an email or leave a comment. We're always looking to dive deep into some stuff. And, that's where we're kind of at here. So anything else you got to say there, Dave, before you wrap up?
Just enjoy the rest of the NCAA tournament. Baseball's opening week. I mean, good couple weeks here.
Yeah. So there you go. And I'll be rooting for Duke tomorrow because Duke is my winner on my bracket. And hopefully they'll take me to the promised land and win some dollars in my pocket, which will probably be spent on some beer type things. So we'll see what happens. That being said, we were out and we'll catch you guys in 2 weeks, or Chuck Lorre said back in 2 and 2, but it's not really 2 and 2, it's just 2. Yeah. We are out of here.
Cheers, everyone.
Thank you for tuning in. It's been a ride. Rod J and Daisy, we here with pride. Midwest beer talk as we glide. Catch us again. Don't let this vibe slide. Like and subscribe. It's the key. Rod J BeerVentures. Join our spree. Beer in front. We got the flow. Catch us live. The good times grow.